The Pokemon community has been attacking Game Freak on Reddit lately, and I just wanted to come back. I mean, you guys already know my stance on the situation. I made a video about this topic, but if you guys don't know already, Game Freak is not allowing every single Pokemon inside Pokemon Sword and Shield through Pokemon Home. Granted, they have released a few statements after the fact saying that they're not opposed to the idea. They don't have a final decision. It's just their current stance on the situation. Now, like I said, you guys know my current stance on the situation. Leave that down below in the description. But what I wanted to go over with you guys today are every single Pokemon that are going to be in the game that we know of so far following E3. Now, I made this list on my own. I compiled the information a lot on my own. I could be missing some Pokemon. If I am missing some Pokemon, then please let me know down below in the comment section. But I'm pretty sure I got everything. So far, we have over 100 Pokemon in just 2 trailers and an ET and a demo, like in an E3 direct. Like that's pretty much all we have is 100 plus Pokemon. It's like maybe a little bit over 100. That's not including any of the new Pokemon, by the way, because the new Pokemon are coming as well. So this is what we have so far. Now, this looks pretty evenly distributed along all generations. Like Generation 1 definitely has the most compared to every other generation. Generation 7 has the least. So they're making sure they're putting a lot of emphasis on Generation 1 because that's a lot of people's favorite generation. So I'm guessing they're trying to make a lot of Pokemon in that generation a bit more relevant. But yeah, this is what I have. Now there are a couple Pokemon here that are honorable mentions for me at least, but remember that I'm coming at this from a competitive standpoint, not a favorite standpoint. Like my favorite Pokemon are the best Pokemon, because that's just the way I play. Some people's favorite Pokemon go by design, etc., etc. Now, honorable mentions here. We have to note that there is Charizard on the top. Charizard being pretty much, not everyone, but the majority of people's favorite starter Pokemon from Generation 1. That's the Pokemon that got 2 Mega Evolutions in Generation 6. It's clear that people like that Pokemon, so they're gonna definitely put that in the game. And especially since the champion of that region does have that Pokemon standing behind him or beside him most of the time. Next Pokemon I want to mention, Gyarados. Now, Gyarados, the Intimidate Spammer. Strong Water type from Generation 1. Cool typing, a little bit weak to Electric, but you know what? I think it'll be useful, especially for the competitive scene, because it's got a great ability, it's got great stats. It's really hard to beat a well-rounded Pokemon like that. Continuing, also something I want to mention, there was no mention of Ditto, but they have to have a Ditto, right? Like, you can't breed Pokemon without it. Like, Ditto must be in this game, but they did not yet show the Ditto, so I'm a little bit sketched or concerned, because I want a way to have a 31 heavy Pokemon, right? Okay, next one I want to mention is Haxorus. Haxorus is the Forgotten Dragon type. Not a lot of people use it because its stats are just incomparable to Garchomp, but Garchomp is not yet included in this game, so that might, boost Haxorus up to a pretty relevant tier, which I'm a little bit excited about because I've always loved the design of Haxorus. I always felt like it could use a little push, and this might be the push to get it over the top. Along with Haxorus, you have things like Hydreigon. Hydreigon is gonna be in the game, and it's also in the same boat as that Haxorus, like, okay, why use Hydreigon when Garchomp is better kind of thing. But you know what, Hydreigon has always been a little bit better than Haxorus. No, yeah, Hydreigon has always been a little bit better than Haxorus. Too many H's. And so we did actually see it in a competitive environment. The problem with Hydreigon now is its typing is 4 times weak to Fairy. That's not a very pretty thing to be weak to, especially with how strong the Fairy typing has been in the past couple of games. But you know what? Maybe with the removal of some of these Fairy types, that you can bump Hydreigon up to the top tier as well. Vikavolt, I want to mention because Vikavolt was kind of sleeper in the last generation. That thing has 145 base special attack. Like, what the heck? 145 base special attack. It's very slow, but that means it's just good in Trick Room. Now, this generation does have a couple of Trick Room setters. I actually just realized Mimikyu was just announced to be in this game literally today, so I have to add Mimikyu onto this list. Well, I'll do that later on. But with what was I saying? Vikavolt, with Trick, there are gonna be Trick Room setters in this game. I don't know about how many. I know Mimikyu is one of them, so that's something to mention, especially when you have a slow Pokemon with that much base special attack. Like, that's something you want to have, right? continuing on, we have Lucario. Lucario, fan favorite. I put that there for a fan favorite. It's okay competitive. It's not terrible. It's a good fighting type. And, you know, its Mega is obviously better, but it's okay competitively. It's pretty well rounded. You could do physical or special. Just an all-around good Pokemon. Milotic, fan favorite. Great competitive, especially if its hidden ability is going to be in the game, because competitive on Milotic is a little bit busted. It's very solid, bulky water type. You can run it as a tank, you can run it as a special attacker. Well-rounded. That's why it's on my list of the honorable mentions. Flygon, again, dragon type. Ground Dragon, actually, like, why would you use this when Garchomp exists? But so far, Garchomp's not in the game, so I guess Flygon gets a little bit of a push up. As Levitate typing, has a pretty well-rounded physical and special attack. It's just the weaker Garchomp. It's always been that, so hopefully maybe they can even give it a few stat boosts. Remember that sometimes they change Pokemon stats from one generation to another. So let's also keep that in mind. You never know where they're going to take the Pokemon on this list. Arcanine, very solid fire type. Like, it has pseudo-legendary stats without being a pseudo-legendary. I would be stupid not to include it on this list, so I stuck on this list. Also an Intimidate spammer, also tanky, also hard-hitting. It's well-rounded. Machamp. Now, I'm adding Machamp here because I did not see a lot of fighting types, you know, that were on this Pokedex so far. A few of the ones I saw were Lucario and Sock. But, and Bewear? Is Bewear a fighting type? I think it's normal fighting. I don't remember. But, I wanted to mention that one because the 100% accuracy dynamic punch is always a threat to be reckoned with. And I don't see Talonflame yet, so that's one less problem. I mean, you do have Corviknight. I guess you can't do much to Corviknight, but I still don't even know how good Corviknight is competitively. I'd have to see its stats, like I was saying before, but I'm gonna stick it on this list for now as an honorable mention. Now we have Mudsdale, very, very used in VGC 18. Very used because of the stamina ability, just makes it so annoyingly tanky. It just gets like +6 defense, and you're like, oh, well, fuck, I guess I lose. So I added it onto this list. Also, pretty solid typing with high horsepower as the single targeted earthquake. I mean, it has a lot of strong things about it. It has very well-rounded move pool, etc., etc. Gengar, one of the fastest, one of the hardest hitting Pokemon to this day. All the way from Generation 1, we have the Poison Ghost type Gengar, which isn't as good without Levitate, but you know what? It's still good. It's still fast. It's still hard hitting. It's still a pain in the ass to deal with. Next, we do have Snorlax, also going to be in this game, which means Belly Drum Citrus is going to be in this game, which means you guys better put your pants on because you're about to pee them. Because honestly, there's nothing scarier than a tanky Snorlax with +6 running at you, and there's just nothing you can do because it's in Trick Room and you're always going to be slower than it. So, I mean, you're always in a situation where it's going to be a pain. Especially if if this game has things like a Guava Berry, Figgy Berry, etc., etc. I really hope they don't bring back those stupid berries. Trust me, I feel like the berries ruin that meta more than the actual legends, because those berries were a little bit stupid. And last but not least, my boy Wobbuffet's in this game. So clearly, I don't give a crap. I'm buying this game anyway, guys. I mean, I think that's something that a couple people aren't realizing is that they've always had a limited dex, right? Every single Pokemon generation has always had limited decks, especially Generation 6. Like, we didn't get Pokebank for 4 months. Like, we had to just deal with what we had, and that was it. That's all we had. So, I think that, you know, I have high hopes. I always have high hopes in Game Freak. I know a lot of people are upset. A lot of people are probably going to hate that those words came out of my mouth. But I think in times like these, we just have to stay positive. Because what else do we have? If you're a real Pokemon fan, then you're gonna play a Pokemon game. That's just the way I see it. No, a lot of you guys disagree with me, but I say we give it time. Like, there's no use in turning a puddle into an ocean. Like, they just revealed that one little snippet. We still don't know. Like, maybe they have a 700 Pokemon dex that we don't even know about, and you know, there's only 100 Pokemon not included, and those are just like, you know, the cover legends, which makes a lot of sense. But with that said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys did get informed with what is happening, because there's a lot of Pokemon here. There's 100 with just 2 trailers. This game comes out in November. That's 5 months away. They're definitely gonna have more trailers, more directs, more information, more Pokemon are gonna be revealed. Like, they're not just gonna open the game up with these things, obviously. So more videos will come from me in the future. But with that said, if you guys enjoy, leave a like down below. I'm Ovation. Hope that you did enjoy. Hope that you will, take a little bit of information home with you today. And peace out.